Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 1752 35th Avenue here in Forest Grove, located at the front of the house. Cleanout lines up with the or your best landmark here should you need to hunt this thing down. It sticks way out of the ground, but it lines up with the right side window of this window here to the left of the front door. And we're sitting about 5 feet out from the patio. This thing would have to get buried under a lot more landscaping though to get hidden. And we're dropping into a 4-inch ABS cleanout, checking the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running. We are zeroed out and off we go. And at the end when the line's drained off, I'll run backwards as well. We're sitting a good 15 feet out from the house here probably. There's some pipe to look at there too. Transitioning here to 4-inch 3034 PVC. Quite a clean sewer line. Just a little tiny bit of grease buildup in the flow line. And right up ahead here is the main. Very nice looking sewer line so far. We're going to go locate that while the line drains out, just to verify where the pipe terminates. Then we'll get a nicer view as we come back in. But yeah, with how clean the line is and just how well it flows, I don't suspect we're going to find anything as we come back in here. It's a very nice, clean looking line here so far. All right, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on 35th Avenue. And this thing runs basically dead straight from the cleanout all the way to the main. In fact, if you walk in a straight line out towards the street, directly in line with the cleanout, right at the curb, you'll see an S stamped in the concrete. There's also some green paint over it, but the S is always there, even if the paint wears off. That just stands for sewer. That's the curb marker where the line crosses into the street. It looks like the water's just about done draining off here. We're going to start pulling back in. And if you want to keep your line looking this clean, these folks are doing a pretty good job of keeping the cooking oil and bacon grease out of the sink. That's the number one thing that gunks your pipes up. It makes a huge difference to how your line functions, especially under more abusive scenarios, like when kids wad up toilet paper or flush wipes, paper towels, things like that down the line. Kind of the general rule of thumb I tell most people to live by: if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans, you turn them sideways while they're still hot. If there's enough on there that it runs off the pan and beads or worse, it's at that point you want to start doing something about it. Either pour it into a jar or something of that nature, metal can while it's still liquid, or scrape it off into a garbage can and or let it cool down, wipe it out with a paper towel. It's when you're putting real quantity down the lines where it gets you. Thin little coating of PAM spray, hot water and soap handles that fine. That is a very, very common contributor to blockages that occur in perfectly good sewer lines. And when you do have any kind of structural defect, it really exacerbates them. So all the PVC pipe there drains off very nicely. Good looking pipe. The line does the ever so slightest zig and zag, but this thing, it really doesn't veer off course very much. It just about lines back up with the cleanout by the time it straightens out. That little bit of tan yellowish stuff in the flow line there is some grease buildup. Pretty minor stuff, really. It's not terribly significant. It's not at a point where I'd recommend cleaning it, but I do like to point it out so people can see what happens when grease goes down the line. And my camera, it kind of busts it up too when it goes through here, so some of that will slough off on its own. But we just went all the way back to the foundation wall. Everything beyond that point is exposed piping down the crawl space that you can look at with your eyes. The home inspector looks at that stuff. Good flow end to end here. All the pipe we just scoped is in good condition. Line did neck down to 3-inch pipe right as we got to the foundation of the home. In and around there, either just before going through the foundation or just on the crawl space side of it. All the pipe we just scoped is in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time.